Hey everybody, it's Christina of Crafty Paws. I'm going to attempt to do a process video showing how I make tags. I basically start with a tag base, and if you don't have something beautiful that's already done like this, you can make your own for sure. If you just use embellishment, slightly thicker, or cereal boxes. And the dimensions that I use are 8.5 in length and 3.5 wide. And then to get the angles up here for the top of the tag, so it's, I think most visually appealing, it's 1 inch down this way on the length and 3/4 of an inch in on the width. So that will give you this format, which is the same as this. And then you cover it with, decorative papers that you like. And then the hole is just a regular standard hole punch, and you just kind of eyeball it down. This is probably about 1/2 inch down, and then I just punch a hole. So that's that. What I use to actually adhere paper to the tag base is just a glue stick, and I cover the whole thing, and I find that because the glue stick is dry, it adheres without causing all those bubbles. Sometimes wet glues come out rough or bumpy, and I find with a glue stick it comes on really smooth. So I'll do the next step, which for me, for tags, particularly like vintage or shabby chic style, I like to use my distress inks, and lighter ones I'll use Vintage Photo, and the darker ones I'll use like a walnut stain. So let me just take my little finger dauber. And that's it. You just go around the edge with a finger dauber. And I think it just adds a nice finishing touch look to the tag. Some people will cut a smaller tag inside, and I think that looks fabulous too. I just saw a tag that the Scrappy Bookworm one, Cynthia, did, and she did a fabulous tag using cardstock, just 2 different colored cardstock, with similar shape, and she just layered 2, and so it makes a nice firmness that you'd like to have in a tag. For the top, I will put all sorts of tassels on top, different laces. Eyelash trim is always really nice because it's full. I'm gonna do like a vintagey, steampunky kind of thing, so I'm using twine, and this twine I had gotten from Candace Scarborough. Thank you, Candace. And I just loop it through the top. Then I'm going to use the little acetate stencil that I made. I just punched it out using my Martha Stewart punch. I'm going to lay that down, and I need a little more ink on my dauber. And I find, I really didn't use stencils very much until recently, and I love it for creating what looks like dimension. But if you want to do like a very flat tag to send to somebody, for, and postage is so expensive now, it's great to add kind of visual dimension using stencils like that, right? Doesn't that add a nice kind of almost 3D effect? My next layer, put that back. Hopefully I'm in frame, I have no idea. Then I like to put flowers either at the bottom or at the top, or if I'm going to do both, I do it like alternating corners for the kind of dominant parts, meaning like not dominant, meaning like either color-wise or like the size of the flowers. And I would adhere that probably with hot glue, because that will adhere this kind of material really quickly. And this rosette I got from Today Library, Elaine Rico. Thank you, Elaine. All I did was add a little bit more antiquing, like a vintagey look, just again with my dauber. And actually for this one, because I wanted a darker color, I used my walnut stain. And then this flower, it's a little felt flower, sorry for the twine I have on it, little pieces. And this I got in a happy mail from ChitownTraci. Thank you, Traci. And she included this beautiful stick pin. And I thought that's perfect for this kind of steampunk tag that I want to do. I don't have my hot glue gun ready, so I'll adhere those later. But I also colored up a little image. This is Tinker Boy, I think his name is. And this is one of the Wicked Designs digis by Brenda. So it's Wicked Designs by Brenda. And this will be my DT project, my second DT project for March. So I just put foam adhesive dots behind him, and I colored him up and fussy cut him out. I put glossy accents on his eyes. I used glossy accents also. I used glossy accents on his boots and on his goggles, and I also used my fabulous jelly roll pen. This is Clear Star. I don't know if you can read that right there, but it's fabulous because it adds a really fine kind of glittery, shimmery look. And I put those in the glass parts of the goggles, and also on the little chain he has here, and the little clock that he has in his pocket, his little pocket watch. So I thought I took this little gear and key off of an embellishment, like a Halloween embellishment that I got from Michael's, and I'm going to put that, tuck that in there so that it looks like he's holding a gear with a key. And I will come back after I do a couple of things that take longer, like the hot glue, and finish this up for you. Hey, okay, so this is my completed tag, and I'll go through and tell you all the pieces that I added to that base that I showed how to make. So after doing all of the distress stamping and adhering this little guy on here, ooh, actually, before that, I used this fabulous washi tape to add just a little more interest. So I added it here, under here, and you can see a little piece of it right there. And this washi tape, I think it's a Tim Holtz washi. It comes in a 2-pack, and I got that from Elaine, who is Today Library here on YouTube. She's so sweet. She sent me a huge Happy Mail rack. And she also, like I said, gave me this rosette, and this came from ChitownTraci. These really pretty gray flowers that have a lot of sparkle to them. I put one there and also at the top. Those, along with this natural ribbon, which is in this package here from the Paper Studio. That came from Joyce, who's loved that paper 215 in my little prize package. And I used some of this twine that I had put on the top here that I got from Candace Scarborough. And I added, when I finished up with the tag, I realized it was looking too brown up here, and I wanted to connect with the red down in this rosette, so I added more red eyelash trim there, and I think that ties the top and bottom in nicely. Ooh, I can't get anything into frame. I can't get it all into frame. And then I stamped these two little paws here with more of that ink. Though that was a stamp that was gifted to me by Jill. Love my two pugs. One, I think, is her name on YouTube. And that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. And I added a couple of metal buttons here, and I think I had showed this little charm. It's not really a charm. It's a gear and a little key that was on top of like a Halloween sticker embellishment. So I just pulled it off. And I added these two metal buttons. And these metal buttons are from this pack, and I got it on like clearance at Michael's, gosh, like 2 or 3 months ago. I think for like 70 cents or something crazy. So that's that. And I will come back and show you my other tag that kind of coordinates with this. So this is DT project number 2, and I'll show you real quick DT project number 3 in a follow-up video. Thanks.